The Zephyrian's four eyes gleamed with predatory satisfaction as it stepped down from the judgment platform, its razor-sharp talons clicking against the crystalline floor of the Galactic Court. Around the amphitheater, representatives from a dozen species whispered in hushed, terrified tones. The creature had just delivered what should have been a death sentence to the human colony on Kepler 442b. "The verdict stands," the Zephyrian hissed, its serpentine neck swaying as it addressed the assembly. "The human settlement violates Treaty 7 Alpha. They have 72 standard hours to evacuate before we commence. Cleansing operations." Ambassador Chen Wei sat in the human delegation section, chin resting on his palm, looking about as interested as someone waiting for paint to dry. He glanced at his wrist display, then at the towering, scaled nightmare that had just threatened to genocide an entire human colony. His expression remained unchanged, mildly bored, perhaps slightly annoyed at having his afternoon interrupted. The Altarian representative, a crystalline being that communicated through light patterns, flashed urgent warnings. The aquatic Delphinian's translator crackled with panic. Even the stoic Centaurians, known for their emotional restraint, showed visible distress through the subtle shift in their stone-like features. Chen raised his hand lazily. "Excuse me." The amphitheater fell silent. The Zephyrian turned its massive head toward the human, expecting to see fear, desperation, perhaps a last-ditch plea for mercy. Instead, it found Chen looking at him with the same expression one might reserve for a mildly inconvenient traffic jam. "Yes," the Zephyrian growled, its voice carrying the promise of violence. Chen stood up slowly, straightening his unremarkable gray suit. "Yeah, hi. Quick question, did you actually read Treaty 7 Alpha? Like the whole thing?" The question caught everyone off guard. The Zephyrian's eyes narrowed. It had ruled through intimidation for 3 centuries, conquered 17 star systems, and reduced proud warrior races to whimpering subjects. No one questioned its legal interpretations. "Of course," it snarled. "Article 12, subsection 4 clearly states—" "Article 12, subsection 4c, Chen interrupted, pulling out a datapad without breaking eye contact. "Which references the Colonial Settlement Addendum of 2387. Did you read that part?" The Zephyrian's confidence wavered slightly. "The specifics are irrelevant. Your species invaded 15 systems in the last month alone. Yeah, I heard your speech." Chen scrolled through his datapad with casual indifference. "Thing is, the Colonial Settlement Addendum has this interesting clause about pre-existing territorial claims established through archaeological evidence of prior habitation." He looked up from his device, that same bored expression intact. "See, funny thing about Kepler 442b, we didn't just settle there last month. We've been there for about, 12,000 years." The amphitheater erupted in confused murmurs. The Zephyrian's four eyes widened. Chen continued in the tone of someone explaining something obvious to a particularly slow child. "Yeah, it turns out humans had a colony ship that got there way back when we were still figuring out faster-than-light travel. Lost contact with Earth, presumed destroyed. Except they weren't destroyed, they just got really, really good at hiding." He gestured vaguely toward the ceiling. "Archaeological evidence, genetic markers, historical records, the works. It's all properly filed with the Galactic Colonial Registry. Has been for the last 6 months, actually. I'm surprised your legal team missed it." The Zephyrian scales began to flush a deep crimson, a sign of either rage or embarrassment. This is impossible. You're lying." Chen shrugged. "Feel free to check. Registry filing number GCR 7751H442B. It's all public record." An aide scurried up to the Zephyrian, whispering urgently. The Predator's expression shifted from confident aggression to dawning horror as it realized the implications. Under galactic law, pre-existing territorial claims trumped everything, including military conquest. "But even if this is true," the Zephyrian recovered, trying to maintain its threatening demeanor, "your pathetic little colony cannot stand against the might of the Zephyrian Empire. We have conquered worlds, crushed entire civilizations." Chen looked at his watch again. Anyway, I've got a dinner reservation in about 3 hours, so if we could wrap this up." The casual dismissal hit the Zephyrian like a physical blow. "You dare mock us? We are the apex predators of this galaxy. Okay, look," Chen interrupted, his boredom finally giving way to mild irritation. "Let me explain something to you. You think you're scary because you've got sharp teeth and conquered some primitive civilizations with sticks and stones, right? That's cute. He gestured to the viewing screens around the amphitheater, which suddenly displayed real-time footage of the Kepler 442b system. See those things that look like moons orbiting the gas giant nearby? Those aren't moons. Those are human defense platforms. Each one has enough firepower to glass a continent. The screen zoomed in, revealing massive structures bristling with weapon arrays that made Zephyrian dreadnoughts look like toys. And that's just the obvious stuff, Chen continued conversationally. The not-so-obvious stuff includes things like, gravitational manipulation fields, artificial black hole generators, and weaponized quantum decoherence arrays. You know, the usual. The Zephyrian's composure finally cracked completely. This is impossible. How could a species so young possess such technology? Chen smiled for the first time since the hearing began. It wasn't a pleasant expression. Young? Who told you we were young? See, that's the thing about humans. We've got this really bad habit of playing dead until someone pokes us too hard. He closed his data pad with a soft click. The colony you just threatened to cleanse? They've had 12,000 years to get creative. And buddy, when humans get bored and isolated for 12 millennia, we get really, really creative. The amphitheater had gone completely silent. Even the various ambassadors seemed to be holding their breath. But hey, Chen said, straightening his tie. No harm, no foul, right? Just a little legal misunderstanding. I'm sure you'll want to formally withdraw your claim and issue a public apology for the misunderstanding. The Zephyrian stood frozen, its predatory instincts finally recognizing what its intellect had missed. It wasn't the apex predator in this room. It never had been. The Zephyrian Empire. Great, I'll take that as a yes, Chen said, already walking toward the exit. The formal withdrawal documents are already prepared. Just need your claw print on the signature line. As he reached the amphitheater doors, he paused and looked back over his shoulder. Oh, and next time you want to threaten a human colony? Maybe do your homework first. Could save everyone a lot of time. The doors closed behind him with a soft hiss, leaving the most feared predator in the galaxy staring at a signature pad and wondering how, exactly, it had just been completely outmaneuvered by someone who looked bored the entire time. Outside, Chen checked his watch again and sighed. Rush hour traffic was going to be murder.